Hey, what's going on everyone? It's ActualBox, and in this video I want to address a topic that's pretty controversial and pretty hotly debated in the Halo community. And there's been lots of debates whether it should go, whether it should stay, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And I think you know what I'm talking about. The topic is Sprint. Well, you probably already guessed from the video title. But anyway, so Sprint. I personally am not a fan of Sprint. That may come as a shocker, but I don't like it. And before I start, I just want to say that I do respect people who do like it. I respect your opinions, but I want others to respect mine too. So please, no hateful comments or messages after this video. Anyway, so Sprint is a default in Halo 4 matchmaking. Actually, in Halo 4 in general, it's everywhere. And this is the first Halo game to incorporate Sprint on such a large degree. I mean, Halo Reach just had it as an ARM ability, so some people had it, some people didn't. Which I kind of didn't like because it kind of made map movement, like knowing where people are, a little bit harder. And so I guess Halo 4 took the plunge of all or nothing, right? So they just put it in everything rather than just having it in some things. Which I guess is good. I mean, it's a bold move, but they didn't even give us the option to disable it without having to download mods from other people on the internet that have the ability to mod. Anyway, so just the fact they did that makes a lot of people upset. I'm not going to say that Sprint as a whole destroyed Halo 4 and made the population drop. I mean, there are pretty good reasons as to why people left Halo 4, and Sprint is one of them, but let me tell you, it's not the only reason. There's a ton of other stuff. I mean, 343 screwed over a lot of people with this game at launch, like screenshot taking people. They can't go into campaign, take cool screenshots of Covenant and Prometheans, or in Spartan Ops either. The custom game community, there's no race game type, no assault. There's a lot, like Flood, it's so lacking in options. Forge is a lot, I'm not gonna say worse, but it's not much better than it was in Reach, and some stuff we're taking out, like precision editing, as you all know. And campaign people, like speedrunners, like Naked Eli, he can't time himself now or check his score because there's no campaign scoring for some reason. And then last of all, matchmaking, competitive people. There's no competitive, they don't have the competitive settings that are classic to them, such as no sprint. And just the fact that they didn't even give us the option to disable it is kind of appalling, and I know you've all heard this before, but seriously, 343, they can't even give us the option to disable it when they obviously showed they could in Lightning Flag, and there's obvious mods to do it out there. But anyway, to the topic of why I don't like Sprint. So the number one reason is, you all probably know it, it's a get out of jail free card. And what I mean by this is someone can just rush in and rush out and make a mistake in battle that should make them die, that they should be punished for that, but instead they can easily get out. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, when you get shot, when you're sprinting, you'll get slowed down. And I go, yeah, you'll get slowed down, but how much? You're still sprinting, right? So some people have come up with the idea that once you get shot while sprinting, you just stop immediately, and that's good. That kind of eliminates the get out of jail free card, but that's not the full solution to the problem, I don't think, of having sprint. So what I mean by jail out of free card is another situation would be where, let's say there's a power weapon like sword on center mid on a drift, right? Someone can just run in and run out and easily grab the sword without any hesitation or putting themselves at risk, because there is no risk, if you know what I mean. They just quickly get out before anyone could do anything about it, and that kind of eliminates the risk versus reward factor that Halo's been about for a while. And that's just my take on the get out of jail free card. And the other one is map movement. So as you know, Halo 4, they've been always saying, oh, well, we designed the maps with sprint in mind. And so when you do that, you get all these abnormally large maps in the game. I mean, Haven is the smallest map in the game, and that's saying something because, well, at least Haven used to be. I'm not sure about that compared to Skyline, but at launch, Haven was the smallest map in the game, and that's saying something because Haven's like pretty decently sized map. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's huge, but it's not small by any means. Like compared to Guardian, Haven's huge, right? And Adrift is the second biggest map, and Adrift is giant. I mean, there's so, like, I'm playing on it right now, right? you can just see how big the map is and how much players it would be able to support if Sprint wasn't here. And just the fact that these maps were made with Sprint in mind makes them abnormally created. I mean, we're not getting as good as maps as we did before. If you've noticed why people want so many remakes like Pitfall coming back, it's because a lot of the maps in Halo 4 are just like filler. Like, no one wants to play them. Like, let me think of a map right now. Complex. I know that it's the first one that comes to everyone's mind, but literally Complex is the worst map created in history. I hate it. I hate it. But anyway, back on topic. So Sprint makes developers who design maps, it's a challenge for them. And the result, as we've seen, is that maps aren't as good as they used to be. I mean, when people remember Halo 2, all they remember is the amazing maps. When they remember Halo 3, they remember the classic maps and the gameplay on them, how amazing it was, right? Like Sandtrap, that map had no sprint, and that map was huge, and it played fantastically, right? So you don't need sprint on huge maps just to get across the map faster. And with increased base movement speed, that kind of eliminates the sprint argument that it helps you get to places faster and eliminates walking time, right? I mean, Halo 3 had giant maps, and it didn't even have sprints, so if that works, then I'm pretty sure it can work in future Halos. And something I've said in comments before, and that I've told other people, is that when people say, well, Halo needs to evolve, right? Call of Duty has sprint, Battlefield has sprint, all these FPSs have sprint, right? And why can't Halo? And 343 obviously thought of this when they were making it, that they wanted to appeal to as many people as possible, which is a good thing, but it didn't really work out well, right? Because look at the population. But anyway, they tried to appeal to the COD community, obviously, with the loadouts and these custom options to make the game more familiar to them. And the fact is, when the COD people came, they played the game, then they went back to COD, right? So they bought the game. That's why they had so many sales, and they didn't really like it because it's still Halo at its core, and so they just left. And then so 343 screwed over their main veteran fans who love the classic gameplay, and appealed to the more COD casual community, which I know the casual community doesn't think that's a bad thing, but to the competitive players out there, or not even competitive, to the classic players out there, it's kind of a disappointment to them. And when I say that 343 appealed to the Call of Duty fans by putting in sprint, that by no means means that made no sense. Wow. What I'm trying to say is that sprint works in Call of Duty because of those extremely fast kill times, and Halo has pretty long kill times, and that's not a bad thing. That's what makes it such like a unique game, right? It's all about breaking the guy's shields down and going in for the last headshot, but really it works in Call of Duty because if someone sprints into the middle of a battle, right, makes a stupid mistake, they get shot, right? And they're not going to get slowed down when they're shot. They're going to get killed immediately because of the extremely fast kill times. That's why it doesn't really work in Halo, because, well, the gameplay, the risk versus reward factor is similar, but definitely not the same. In Halo, you don't get as punished as you would in Call of Duty, and that's why it works so well in Call of Duty. I don't know the exact statistics, but I know that most of the deaths in Call of Duty are from when someone is sprinting. So what I mean by that is when you get killed, most of the time it's because you were sprinting and you couldn't get your gun out fast enough to shoot the other person back. And that's why it works so well in Call of Duty, because sprint has such a risk factor in it that really does what sprint's supposed to do, right? And that's why it doesn't work in Halo. And let me tell you, the sprint in Halo 4 is a lot better than Reach, because in Reach, you wouldn't even get slowed down when you were shot, which pissed a lot of people off, including me. And in this gameplay, again, you'll see several times that people just sprinted away from me and got in the way when they were supposed to be one-shots, and I was supposed to catch up to them, but I just didn't have enough sprint left. So it is an annoying thing, and I know the new armor upgrade, what is it, Resistor or something like that, it's supposed to make it so it's like Halo Reach where you don't get slowed down when you're shot. That's BS, man. I don't even know why they added that. There's actually no reason why they added that, right? Because people are already mad with sprint in the first place, so why would they just, I don't know, add to the damage, right? Anyway, guys, that's my topic on sprint. I thank you for watching with me this long, and I hope you guys have your own opinions that you can share, right? And we'll all respect that. So thank you for watching, guys, and have an awesome day, and let's play some Halo 4.